Hey guys, listen, I have another public service announcement for today, for Thursday, okay? Um, and it's been on my mind for a few weeks now, and I haven't shared it, but it's very important. Um, and it's with regard to caregiving, and having yourself really prepared you get into before you walk into that. And with caregiving and loved ones being sick and ill, we don't have a lot of time to prepare for that. You know what I'm saying? We don't know when it's coming. You don't know when a medical emergency is going to happen. We don't know when illness is just going to set in and take place. We don't have a schedule for that. And so what ends up happening is that we're thrust into it because of who we are, because of the beings of who we are. But if you can, try to prepare yourself a little bit better before it happens. Try to prepare yourself a little better before it takes place. And you're doing this because you know better. Because I'm sharing it with you, so you're going to know better. And when you know better, you do better. And this is powerful because once we're into it, there's no time. There's no time for us to schedule to go back on what we need to take care of for ourselves, especially financially, and what that's going to look like for us at the end of the caregiving, okay? Or while we're in the caregiving, okay? So when emergencies happen and we take on these roles, we're often running with skates on. We're often running with skates on, and there's no looking back. There's no time to go take care of your stuff and how you want to put your ducks in order. But what you've got to be cognitively aware of and keep in mind is that ultimately it's gonna come to an end. And then you've got to ask yourself, what are you going to do? Are you ready financially to really face what's going to happen to you? Have you given up, or will you have to give up where you're living to go and be with your parents where they are? And if you do, what's life going to look like for you afterwards? Is their home a reverse mortgage? And if it is, what's going to happen to you at the end of that? What's life going to look like for you? Will you have to quit your job? What's your income going to be? Are you going to have to take an early retirement so that you'll have some stream of an income coming in? Because there's no income with caregiving. There's no income with caregiving. Sometimes in instances where there's a veteran, they will compensate. But let me tell you, the Veterans Administration and their compensation plan, I don't have words. I don't have words, because you will have to fill out mountains of paperwork and go through so many trials and tribulations and fight with those people to such a degree. I think the process, honestly, is designed to wear you out so that you just give up. It's a process of elimination so that you just quit. They make the paper trail so overwhelming and so daunting, knowing that you have other responsibilities, that you have a patient that you have to deal with, you have a loved one that you're trying to see about. They make it so difficult that you find yourself in the middle of choosing to do paperwork or take care of your loved one, and the time is just not there. What they're asking for, and even once you finish the mountain of paperwork that you certify and you send in, they'll say that they never received it. And they'll say it they'll say it again and again and again and again and again. Let me tell you, my dad passed away in 2019, and I fought with those people for 4 years for my mom's benefits from my dad being in the Army. It was her benefits, it was her money, her right to have those benefits. But do you know when they approved, when they took us through so many trips and changes. They did not approve her benefit until she was transitioning away. They approved her benefits 2 days before she passed away in 2023. So from 2019, when my dad passed away, until 2023, I fought for her benefits, and they did not approve them until 2023. So what I'm saying, make sure you have a plan, whether it's going to be early retirement, there's no side job. There's no side job with caregiving. You got to be there. You got to be there, and you know, you're in position to do what you got to do. But just start to try to, you know, figure out a plan while you have some calm in your life, and some rationality, and some space to think it through, where it makes sense, where it's going to make sense for you, where it's going to make sense for you when you come out of it with your life, because you still have to do life afterwards. And when your parents want to sit down and they want to have that conversation with you while they're of sound mind, when they want to have that conversation with you and they want to take you over to that file cabinet and talk to you about what we don't want to talk about, and they want to show you where the will is and the trust is and what you're supposed to do and how they want things to go, don't tell them you don't want to listen. I did. I'm guilty. I did. Every time I came home and my mom said, come, I want to show you, you need to know this, you need to know XYZ, let me show you where everything is in the file cabinet. And I always said, no, Mom, I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to hear about that. And she said, well, you know, it's got to be talked about. Okay, we'll talk about it next time, Mom. And it kept being the next time and the next time and the next time. And it never happened. And so when those things happen, you find yourself fumbling and trying to figure out what's what, even though for the most part, 80% of what my parents wanted was already in place. It's still like fumbling through a whole bunch of paperwork and documents. So when they really want to sit down and talk to you to let you know how they want things to go once they're no longer here, and we have to have the uncomfortable conversations in life. We have to come to the table and we have to talk about the uncomfortable stuff. We do. We have to have those conversations. We can't run from them. So allow them to do that with you while they're of sound mind, and let them know, you know, let them know and let them tell you what it is that they want and how they want it. Okay? So anyway, I just wanted to add that and ask you guys to do that for yourself. Okay? It'll be very powerful for you when that moment comes. Okay? Enjoy the rest of your day.